Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squared for boxing news and views from around the internet. It's come up golden for Bakhodir Jalolov. After winning gold at the Tokyo Games in 2021, the Big Uzbek has repeated at Paris, and he's beaten Spain's Ayoub, Ghadfa, Drissi Aissaoui, apologies if any pronunciation mistakes, to take the gold, and he was pretty dominant in this fight. So what we'll do is briefly talk about the fight, but it's more the what next, because Jalolov promptly declared after his win that he intends to ignite his pro career and really get back into things. Bearing in mind, he's dropped back down twice to the Olympics, he's had a stop-start pro career, currently 14-0, and he is with Top Rank. So this fight with the Spanish heavyweight Ayoub, Ghadfa, Drissi Aissaoui, it was pretty dominant for Jalolov compared to 3 years ago when he fought Richard Torres in a very closely fought match. This one here was pretty much one-way traffic, with Jalolov taking it 5-0 in the end. The judges had it all for him, and he was landing big left hands throughout. Got a standing 8 count in the first round, and you had a situation with Jalolov just being in control. And you know, you can tell he's been developing as a heavyweight. He's been getting better, a bit more pinpoint, a bit more slick, and it showed. It was on display here in this final of the Olympics. So double Olympic champion. He'd been asked by his country to represent them at the last 2 games, so that had sort of interfered with his pro career. But he said after the fight that this was his dream for Uzbekistan and his dream for himself. But he said that he is looking to make a move to the United States, to live and train there, and he wants to resume his pro career. And I took that as a pretty good sign that maybe we're not going to see him dropping back down to the amateurs again. I guess you can never say never. In Uzbekistan, they do place a premium on the amateur sports and get a lot of prestige from medaling in international tournaments, especially the Olympics. At this Games, I was just looking at the medal tally for them. You know, they had 5 gold medals in boxing. So they're a very dominant country in boxing at the amateur level. And Jalolov has been a good servant to him. But hopefully he can be released now and he can start to, you know, build on the talent that he's got. Because I don't think many people know that, you know, he actually was at the 2016 Games as well. So you have a case where he's been going up and down since 2018. He's got a record of 14-0. In 2023, he signed with Top Rank a multi-year deal. So let's hope that they are going to really start to push him now. And maybe he can get in the mix with some of these Riyadh season cards that are starting to be held in the United States. So he's got some okay wins so far in his prospect phase. You've got the likes of Kamil Sokolowski, a good win against Jack Mulawai, stopped him late on. A good win against the durable journeyman Curtis Harper. And also in 2023, he knocked out Honorime Ihrami and also Chris Thompson. That Thompson fight was the first fight of his Top Rank deal. So he was on a card supporting Jared Anderson in that one. So the future is bright for the Big Uzbek. You know, he's well and truly, I think, done his dash in the amateurs now, hopefully. He's 30 years old, and let's hope that he can use this double Olympic delight, this double gold, to springboard to a big pro career. I did a video back in, 2020, during the pandemic, and pegged him as one of the next big things. But because of the stop-start nature of his pro career, he hasn't been able to kick on because he spent a tremendous amount of time in amateur tournaments and obviously building up to the last 2 Olympic Games, with Tokyo delayed by a year because of the pandemic. So let's hope that Bakhodir Jalolov can kick on, because there is, I think, in the next few years, there's going to be a bit of a vacuum for the top of the division. Once you have the likes of Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, Alexander Usyk clearing out of the sport, there's going to be a lot of room for guys to come in, take belts, and really, you know, make a name for themselves and try to take over the division. Bakhodir Jalolov can be amongst that. So hopefully, you know, he is done with the amateurs. And I think probably through what he's been doing as well, he's been getting a bit more seasoning, a bit more polished. And one of the things that I have a doubt about is the potential chin. and also he was stopped to the body, once upon a time. Joe Joyce really beat him up to the body bad, what was it, 8 years ago? So you do have a situation that Bakhodir Jalolov, at 30 years old, hopefully, he's put a lot of seasoning on, got a lot of good rounds, and he can actually sort of just basically hit the go button when he resumes his career. So I imagine he'll be joining that stable of Uzbek fighters in California that live and train there. So we'll have to see what they look to do with him. But I think there is scope for him to be brought along quite quickly now. He's already had some of the development fights that you want him to have, and fighting at a decent level in the amateurs is also going to keep him pretty sharp as well. So I think the only way is up for Jalolov from here. And I'm hoping we're going to see him out soon, and it's not going to be too long, and Top Rank will be able to work with the Saudis and do something for him. And just before I go, I would also make mention of the other Uzbek. So Jalolov was competing at super heavyweight, 92 kilos plus. You had the heavyweight, which is not the super heavyweight, which Jalolov's in. The other Uzbek who was competing, who won gold, Lazarbek Mulajanov, he's going to be a problem. He's another guy who's already had 4 fights under his belt as a pro. He's a guy that can basically get into the heavyweight division and start to really have a good prospect phase. He's ready for much bigger and better things than a lot of guys at a similar sort of level. Very, very dangerous guy, big puncher, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do at the pro level as well. Drop a comment, loud and often. Hit like, hit subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, boxing_squared. I'm out.